It is quite obvious that we got iPhone release every single year, but to be honest, in the last couple of years, I did not really excited about the new iPhone lineup because there's no significant change in both design and features, so there's no reason for me to buy it. But this year, Apple got me hooked with the new iPhone Air. It's look kind of cool, light and thin design, but powerful with the A19 Pro chip. So I bought it right here. Let's open it up together and take a look in real life. You know, the first thing I noticed, the iPhone box just got thinner and thinner every year since they start removing the headphone and chargers. And I think it's gonna get even thinner in the next couple of years when they eventually take out the cables. The iPhone Air using eSIM only, so there will be some note inside the box that guide you how to do that. Also a Type-C cable. I'll put them aside for now and go ahead to uncover the iPhone Air. This part is always the best part when buying a new iPhone. The feelings when holding this phone is kind of strange. To be honest, it's obviously very light and thin, but somehow still feels sturdy in my hand. We'll talk more about its durability later on, but this is for sure not a fragile phone that I expected. To give you a better idea about its thinness, this is my current phone, the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and when putting them side by side, you can see even the thickest part of the iPhone Air, which is the plateau, is still thinner than my other phone. And it is funny because when you hold the Air and you go back to hold the 15 Pro Max, it feels way more heavier than before. Not just about the size, but this year Apple actually redesigned the iPhone Air to fit own components into its plateaus. And I think that is a great design initiative to spare more space for the battery, but also you'll have to sacrifice the missing of the two important cameras, the ultra wide and the telephoto camera, and I think that is something is a deal breaker for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, if you are just gonna using the 1x camera to taking photos and videos, it's look incredible because it's actually the same 48 megapixel camera to the 17 and 17 Pro. For reference, this is some picture I took earlier with the iPhone Air and it looks stunning. The only time when you see the drop off in quality is when you start zoom in. Because there's no physical telephoto camera, what you see is actually a digital crop of the main sensor. So at 2x, the pictures still look pretty sharp, but beyond that to 5x or 10x, you can see that details start to soften and noise become much more noticeable. And it's kind of weird when saying this, but this year I like the front iPhone camera way better. Not just because it's upgraded to 18 megapixel camera with better image quality for sure, but it now can use both front and back camera simultaneously. And this is crucial for people like me who make YouTube videos. Having these features just make the workflow so much simpler than before. And speaking of battery, this is my first day of using it, so there's not much information for you, but I'll keep using it and give you the verdict after a few days. But according to Apple, this phone is up to 27 hours of video playback. That is 5 hours more than the iPhone 16. And if you consider how ultra thin this phone is, I think that is a pretty fair capacity. If battery life is something you worry about, you can also get the iPhone Air MagSafe battery. It's basically just a regular MagSafe battery, but they call it the iPhone Air battery because it's only fit the iPhone Air anyways. So its capacity is similar to the iPhone Air, but frankly, due to wireless charging, it only provides about 65% extra charge to your phone. So battery was something I was worried about when I'm first buying this phone, but my biggest concern was its durability. Of course, I can't afford to do the drop test on this like other YouTubers, but I saw the video from Jerry for the iPhone Air durability test. He showed that it will take over 97 kilograms to actually bend this phone. And the crazy thing is, it's still working after the test. Even if I try to bend it with my bare hand, it still feels very firm and a bit resistant. I think its toughness mainly comes from the titanium chassis and the ceramic shield on both the front and back. According to Apple, the front glass is 3x more scratch resistant than the previous model, and the back glass is 4x more resistant to cracks. However, I watched some real-life testing and people were complaining a lot about the scratch resistance. Even right in the Apple Store, where they probably needed to show their best products, I found that the black models got a pretty bad scratch on the backside. So I think if you intend to buy this phone, it will make more sense for you to buy the light and bright colors like white or sky blue like the one I got. Because if you make a scratch on the back, it's not look obvious like the black colors. You know, I think any Apple products that come with the Air behind its name always missing something that could make it more pro. Like we got the MacBook Air M4, light and powerful with the M4 chip, but still lack fans which make a huge effect to the performance. Now we got the iPhone Air running the same A19 Pro chip as the 17 and 17 Pro. But to achieve that slim design, it has to sacrifice both the camera system and the battery capacity. But frankly, that two things are essential for people nowadays when they're looking for a new phone. They always want a phone with a better camera and longer battery capacity. So I think this phone is best for people who really appreciate its slim design and portability. They want a phone for everyday use rather than a pro phone with better camera, longer battery, and higher spec. So let me know in the comment what you think about this phone, and there will be more tests on this iPhone Airs in the upcoming days. So let me know what you want to know about this device. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.